Mr. Beast said,
"You're the video producer that decides what tech everyone in America buys." Half the time I watch his videos and I just leave and go buy stuff.
I'm Marquez Brownlee, and I review dope new tech. To discover the tech of the past that changed our lives forever.
I mean, I've said on videos before, I make videos about products I'm interested in. And we're also very transparent about our sponsor relationships. We don't privately take money from anyone. I'm back. So we got the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro today. I mean, if you've watched my videos before, you know about one of the golden rules, which is to never buy something based on the promise of future software updates.
Mark my words.
Alright, welcome to my first video.
Humble, honest, genuine, and transparent. He wasn't just another tech reviewer, he was a breath of fresh air. His commitment to unbiased opinions and detailed analysis helped him amass millions of subscribers. People trusted him to tell it like it is, without any corporate influence. Rules set, personality defined, followers gained. When you achieve this, you better get ready for the fire you set up. Think about this like the big players in sports such as Steph Curry, Cristiano Ronaldo, or James LeBron. Even if they are doing way better than countless other players, if they drop their earlier onset standards, fans will rightfully judge them, and if the player feels undone, then they are not genuine superstars. Otherwise, superstars always handle critics by responding as required. Once upon a time, a young tech enthusiast named Marquez Brownlee, better known as MKBHD, started a YouTube channel from his bedroom.
Like so many others.
His passion for technology and honest reviews quickly resonated with viewers around the world. But as the years went by, the longtime viewers began to notice a shift. The raw authenticity seemed to give way to a more polished, perhaps even cautious, presentation style, most probably due to pressures from popular brands like Apple, Google, and the like. We subscribed to MKBHD's channel expecting this raw authenticity and genuineness. Always chasing that original vibe, MKBHD started dropping wise sayings like he just got a download from an alien supercomputer. But seriously, who wouldn't want to watch a guy whose words seem beamed straight from some cosmic intelligence? Out of nowhere, he hits us with gems like, don't buy something based on future promises and never charge for something that was previously free. Let that sink in for a sec. That's the kind of stuff that makes someone the GOAT in any game. In his reviews, he continued to recommend products that he believed were of the highest quality, called out the bad ones, and probably internally condemned every human being who designed terrible products. That's the MKBHD we couldn't get enough of. A few years down the road, we were almost 10 million subscribers, and as we speak now, this number has almost doubled. Every single day, we were smashing that play button, eager to hear our tech guru drop knowledge on what gadgets were worth our time. I mean, I love the guy with all my heart, soul, and maybe even my kneecaps. I vividly remember when he was all about reviewing camcorders, diving into the depths of Firefox, or showing us how to upload videos on YouTube. This was really super fun to watch. That was the OG MKBHD, the real deal. Back then, his content felt like a personal chat with a friend who just gets tech the way we do. He wasn't just some influencer. He was our go-to tech confidant. Those were the days when his authenticity shined brightest, and we felt every bit of his passion right through the screen. So, when you've got a massive following like MKBHD, sometimes the quality pedal gets swapped out for the money pedal. And suddenly we're in full-on, let's milk this audience dry mode. Is MKBHD the only one doing this? No, you'd have to be from another planet to think so. Tons of our old school idols have shifted gears from being genuine voices to becoming brand hype machines. Just look around at the tech channels drowning in the game of echoing whatever the brand script for them. They sprinkle in tiny critiques here and there, but the main gig is to lure us into those dopamine-fueled purchases every single year. And honestly, I think MKBHD is right there in the mix. But here's the kicker. He is a clever mongoose who doesn't just bite. He is not just tactical in his business, but also technical. His interviews with what I like to call Apple politicians are a case in point. Sure, Apple dubs them senior vice presidents. But let's be real. If their main job is selling us hope for cash, what's in a title? When MKBHD sits down with these guys, it feels like a full-on marketing event. Now, I'm not saying there's some secret exchange of green energy dollars happening. We don't have any proof, so let's not go there. The point is, MKBHD is slick. You can't easily decipher his playbook or why he's cozying up with these Apple execs. But come on, we don't need superpowers to read between the lines. In one of his latest chats, he was talking to a senior VP about Apple's move to make iPhones less repairable. The Apple exec straight up said that by making iPhones more durable, they become less repairable, claiming durability and repairability are on opposite ends of the spectrum.
For me, I find it helpful to kind of think about the bookends. Like if you imagine a product that never fails, right? That just doesn't fail. Yep. And on the other end, a product that maybe isn't very reliable, but is super easy to repair. Right. product that never fails is obviously better for the customer. It's better for the environment.
Okay, it's interesting you put it that way, because on one end you have the product that never fails. On the other hand, you have the product that can be replaced infinitely, but it's not as reliable.
Yep.
And guess what our beloved tech ambassador MKBHD asked in response?
Nothing to ask me?
Nothing. He did nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Yet, with all his smarts and experience, the guy asked zero critical questions. He just managed his head nods to make sure he wasn't agreeing too obviously. It's like, come on. Where's the sharp, inquisitive MKBHD we used to know, with all the influence he has? It's a letdown to see him not pushing back on such key consumer issues. Feels like we're watching a polished ad rather than a hard-hitting interview. So, pro-consumer YouTuber Rossmann didn't hold back. He straight up called MKBHD's interview a softball. Rossmann has been battling for us consumers for ages, losing some fights but winning plenty. And this time, he didn't just win, he won bigly, as Trump might say.
And we're gonna win bigly, believe me.
His videos usually pull in around 300K views, but this one, it skyrocketed to nearly 2 million. So what does that tell you? People notice what's right and what is wrong. They just sometimes choose to stay quiet. Curious about the community's reactions, I immediately rushed back to MKBHD's now infamous softball interview and dove into the juiciest part of any controversial video, the comments section. And oh boy, it was absolute mayhem. The response was like dropping potassium into water. No chill, just instant explosions. People were not holding back at all, which is yet another reminder that the internet is a small world. You can't just drop some questionable content and expect folks not to catch on.
So your GPU died. Your GPU dying on that model results in you having a black screen and it not booting. Because it doesn't boot, they cannot run the test. Because they cannot run the test, they can't confirm it's the GPU. Because they can't confirm it's the GPU, you care about longevity? Gargle my balls. First, I wanted to address whether they make the devices for longevity. Do they care about longevity? And do they care about the customer when they fuck up making a device for longevity? This is complete propaganda. I could go on about 2021 design flaws, 2022 design flaws, 2023 design flaws, 2024 design flaws. This video will wind up being 6 hours long. I don't like the word influencer because the word influencer has come to mean somebody that a marketing manager or a marketing intern believes is capable of manipulating large swaths of people into believing something that isn't true. Next up, my favorite one, privacy and security. How do I put this? There is no documented case of an aftermarket part leading to a customer's sex tape being posted to her own Facebook account by a technician. You know where that happened? Apple.
But here's what really made me lose the remaining droplets of trust I had in this MKBHD. After all the feedback from the community, he stayed silent. No clarifications, no responses, nothing. Some might argue he's too big to address every issue that pops up, but this wasn't a small hiccup. It's a consumer issue, and his channel is all about helping people make informed purchase decisions. So if a counterargument gains nearly the same number of views as the original video, it's common sense to address it. For example, when popular YouTuber Veritasium uploaded a video explaining how electricity works, there were some technical false claims made. Another creator, Electroboom, came out breaking down different aspects of the video and making corrections about a few things here and there. When the Electroboom video gained significant traction, Veritasium himself stepped up to provide clarifications, which earned him even more respect from the entire science and tech community.
So here I have my friend Derek Moller, who is a science communicator, filmmaker, television personality, and inventor. And of course, he's a YouTuber at Veritasium channel with over 12 million subscribers.
Misconception number one is thinking that electrons carry the energy from the battery to the bulb.
So regarding the first point, the electrons pushing each other, I think we need to define pushing first.
See, at this point, I'm thinking Derek might be thinking that pushing is only between the surface of the material and not between energy fields.
Yeah, if you have two objects and you bring them close together, yeah, charges in and around the surfaces can apply forces on the other object.
Oh, he knows. Of course he does. Thanks for the call. Bye. Derek was right about the surface charges, but at the same time, I'm still right. Charges do push each other through the wire. I need to talk to Derek again.
Thanks for taking the call again.
Mind you, his average view count is close to 8 million, more than twice what MKBHD gets on average. So being big doesn't mean you can ghost when mistakes are made. The real move is to come back and engage with your audience. That's the whole point of being a tech influencer. After such a painful silence from my once favorite tech guru, I really started appreciating the power of YouTube and legends like Louis Rossmann, guys who fear nothing on this planet except maybe their cats. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, and of course this channel, do it now. You'll be glued to every video. He's the one who tipped me off that some car brands are spying on us while we drive. Let's just say, if my boyfriend heard half the stuff I say in the car, I'd be in some serious trouble. Big shout out to Rossmann for keeping it real. But back to MKBHD, what would make him skip asking the tough questions on such a critical issue? Usually, there are two reasons why someone might go speechless when they should be speaking up. Either there's someone special involved, or there's some green paper involved, if you catch my drift. We can't say for sure what's up, but hopefully it's none of the above. Honestly, this was the perfect moment for MKBHD to step up for his viewers, the very people who made him who he is today, and call out Apple on their obnoxious anti-repair practices. That would have been epic. Not only would it have earned him mad respect, but it probably would have snagged him even more subscribers and some serious passive income down the line. I mean, it's super rare to have direct connections to the big shots making decisions at mega companies like Apple. In the tech world, guys like MKBHD are legends, but instead of using that clout to shake things up, guess what they're doing? Playing it safe. Sure, he might have risked losing some cash or missing out on those flashy Apple event invites, but it wouldn't just be his loss. Apple would feel the sting too if someone like MKBHD bailed on their annual, almost cult-like presentations. The ripple effect he'd have in the tech community could lead to 4 or 5 other big names pulling out, hitting Apple where it hurts, in the shareholders' pockets. And who would win in the end? It is us, the consumers. As expected from someone who doesn't need to beg for subscribers anymore or can drop a random vlog about his trip to Australia.
Normally my sister would go, but she's just moved to Australia. Yeah.
Some World Cup no one has heard of and still snagged 3 million views. He took the easy route. He sat down in that room for who knows how many hours, soaked up all the corporate talk, kept his head nods in check, and uploaded that video for his ever-eager audience waiting for the latest tech scoop. Had he just taken the bold step, what some might call swallowing the red pill, he could be among the top 1% on the platform, rubbing shoulders with people like Louis Rossmann, Cody Sanchez, or Lewis House, people we fully trust when they talk. Apple pulls off these kinds of softball interviews all the time. It's their signature move. Did you catch that recent one where a celeb gets surprised by Tim Cook delivering the latest iPhone and then they casually stroll through downtown New York? What a coincidence, right? Apple's so slick with their marketing, they make everything look effortlessly natural. And hey, that's fine if what they're pushing is actually worth the money. But this time around, honestly, the latest iPhone series just doesn't cut it. For the love of tech, maybe consider skipping this one. Anyway, here I am, trying to raise a voice for myself and a billion others about being cautious when consuming online reviews. With under 200 subscribers, I get that this video might not go viral, but you can help change that. Smash that like button and subscribe for more straight up, unbiased content. Together, we can keep spreading the word and bring some common sense back to the tech world. We all love tech. We all appreciate great products from giants like Samsung and Apple. But let's not shy away from calling them out when it really matters. After all, they need to hear it from us, the people who actually use their stuff. Imagine if MKBHD rallied 10 or 15 other YouTubers and urged their viewers not to buy iPhones until Apple brought back the chargers. I bet Apple would have listened real quick. But instead, these guys act just like politicians. They say one thing and do another. People don't follow what influencers tell them. They follow what influencers actually do, whether they realize it or not. Sometime back, this same person advised us not to buy tech based on future promises. This is some advice that has personally helped me up to date. I buy based on what I see and not what has been promised.
I mean, if you've watched my videos before, you know about one of the golden rules, which is to never buy something based on the promise of future software updates.
But here comes September 2024, and Apple releases a phone with a total of 0 upgrades from the previous version yet. MKBHD went against his advice and bought the iPhone 16 Pro Max with the hope that it would have the highly anticipated AI features, and didn't stop there. He uploaded 2 separate videos technically promoting it. What else can we call this apart from marketing? There is no real value in making new videos about the same thing that has been on market for nearly 12 months. Some will argue that the phone came with the new disturbance button that Apple insists on calling the camera control. Well, good luck to all those who will enjoy using this new feature, but based on feedback from users, the button is just a gimmick. A tech product that's just a repeat of the last 3 models doesn't deserve that kind of hype. If an influencer like MKBHD with over 19 million subscribers chose not to buy the latest release from Apple or any other brand because it doesn't meet the minimum requirements for an upgrade, that video would blow up. Brands might finally stop the cycle of making us feel like last year's best ever product is suddenly obsolete after just 12 months. Have we seen influencers go against big brands? You bet, and it's paid off. Remember when all the major tech reviewers trashed Apple's butterfly keyboard and the touch bar? What happened next? Apple listened and phased out those designs. But when they stayed silent about Apple removing chargers from iPhone boxes, guess what happened? Samsung and Google just copied the strategy. If this move was truly about meeting green goals, Apple could have innovated with new battery technology that didn't require us to buy chargers separately. You can't remove the engine from a car to meet environmental targets and then sell the engine separately. That just doesn't add up. Let's be honest, folks. Common sense is becoming a rare commodity on YouTube and other social media platforms. People are promoting whatever boosts their revenue rather than what brings value to viewers. I remember when I bought my iPad in 2021 and spent over $230 on a Logitech keyboard case that turned out to be a total disappointment. 2 weeks later, a friend told me the same thing happened to them. So far, I've met 4 more people whose pricey keyboards failed within 6 months, either from a tiny splash of water or for no apparent reason. How did we all end up here? We watched countless YouTube channels recommending the same product that didn't live up to the hype. After that experience, I switched to the Zugu case, which I've been using for the past 3 years. They've just released their latest edition, and while it's on the expensive side for an iPad cover, it offers 4 times the value compared to other cases. If you're interested, check out the link in the description below. Everything I recommend comes from personal experience and genuine use. If possible, please share my video with friends and family. It is not a sin when we support our favorite creators. I have personally done it many times, including when MKBHD launched his sneaker line, the 251. Named after his very first video, but sometimes success gets to their heads, and they start expecting us to buy whatever they throw our way, no matter how pointless the product or service might be. After the 251 shoe launch, MKBHD didn't waste time before rolling out his new app called Panels. And let's be real, just like he rightfully slammed the Fisker Ocean as the worst car he had ever reviewed and threw shade at the AI pin, which, let's face it, we all saw coming.
I think it's just the worst car I've ever tested.
His own app seemed to miss the mark big time. MKBHD himself would slam this app if he were to perform a blind test on it. Now, dropping a not-so-great product isn't the end of the world. We've all been there. First attempts can be rough. But MKBHD isn't just some clueless CEO with deep pockets and zero tech sense. He's a tech whiz who knows all about user privacy, fair pricing, and quality control. But after releasing this wallpaper app, it felt like none of that technical know-how made it into this app. So, was this accidental? Not a chance. The likelihood of this being unintentional is like a Japanese airline plane taking off without anyone checking the fuel gauge, practically zero given their legendary attention to detail. These creators are now at a stage where they'll do whatever it takes to squeeze more money out of us. They're straight up copying their role models. Apple, Samsung, Google, Microsoft, you get the idea. In their minds, they're thinking, if Apple can remove headphones from phones, if Google can track all user data, if Meta can pull off all the stuff they do and people still stick around, then why can't we? This is the exact template they're copying and pasting into their own playbooks. There's a saying in the creator world, why reinvent the wheel when you can just remix what's already working? And that's exactly what they're doing. Gladly, the tech world was alert this time around, and MKBHD got all the attention he perhaps didn't anticipate. But before we dive deeper, let's break down what this magic wallpaper app actually offered. Basically, it served up HD solid colors like orange, blue, pink, the kind of stuff you could easily set up on a 2007 iPhone. It also had some magic creations that most AI tools can now do for free and in seconds. Now, here's the thing. He's selling this app for $50 a year, not as a one-time purchase, which would already be a stretch for a wallpaper app, but $50 per year or $12 per month. Imagine paying $12 a month for wallpapers. Feels like they're completely out of touch with reality and their audience. The app's user interface? Let's just say it wasn't winning any awards. Instead of letting users pick wallpaper styles to help the AI understand their taste, you're asked to follow specific artists. How do you expect users to follow someone they've never heard of? On what basis are they supposed to make that choice? Have they seen their work before or interacted with them in any way? It seems like the setup ensures that every user is tied to a specific artist, so whenever money changes hands, there's a split between MKBHD and the artist. But the craziest part of this panel app is that if you don't cough out the $50, you would technically just forget about your privacy. We still love you, MKBHD, but please, bring back the old you, put your viewers at the center, and you'll keep growing. Remember, big brands want to work with you because of us, not the other way around. To you who made this far, huge shout out for sticking around till the end. Seriously, you're the real MVP. If you've got some 8 minutes, you have to check out our latest review of Apple and their entire lineup. Trust me, it's the most unfiltered, no BS review you'll find here on YouTube. Don't miss out.